Minister, this issue has come up on a number of occasions in relation to questions to yourself over the last period of time, and I know you can't control the rent situation in Dublin or elsewhere, but the fact remains that since 2010 rents have gone up by 31%, and particularly in Dublin and in the commuter belt, that has been really affected. Kildare, where people are being forced out of Dublin City because of the high rents in relation to this. Now, obviously, these rents affect both private or people who haven't got rent supplement and those who are paying a full lash. But will you, Minister, consider reviewing the rent supplement and increasing it? Because since last year, when you brought it, you changed the rent supplement.
Thank you very much, Minister.
Thank you, Deputy. Rent supplement continues to play a vital role in housing families and individuals, with the scheme supporting approximately 70,000 people this year at a cost of €298 million. Over 4,700 claims have been awarded in 2015, of which 1,380 were in Dublin. There are also over 1,600 people in receipt of the new housing assistance payment. This shows that landlords are engaging with the state, private rental sector schemes, and that people are being accommodated under these schemes. The Department's recent review of the maximum rent limit found that the increased rent limits at this time could potentially add to further rental inflation, and in an already distressed market affect not alone rent supplements but also recipients. But you said also, Deputy, there is a number of people in the rental market on lower incomes, which would greatly affect on students. The impact of increasing limits will yield only a very marginal increase in availability, supply, if at all, with the certainty that the rising limits will increase costs disproportionately for the exchequer, with little or no new housing available. On a national basis, officers administrating the rent supplement scheme continue to provide flexibility in assessing customers' accommodation needs. The Department is also working with the Threshold Tenancy Sustainment Service in Dublin and Cork City, where supply is most acute. The primary objective of these initiatives is to ensure a speedy intervention for families at immediate risk of losing their tenancy through raising rents. I keep the matter under review, and I am satisfied this approach is the appropriate response at this time. These measures have assisted in excess of 1,500 households to retain their rental accommodation through increased rent supplement, of which 900 refer to the households in Dublin City and County. So 900 in the Greater Dublin area has been assisted.
Thank you very much, Deputy.
I presumed you would have raised the issue of the Tenancy Protection Service and why it has helped families. I mean, I have the report. 553 tenancies were protected, 462 uplift payment in their rent supplement, and remaining 91 sustaining their tenancy as a result of the Tenancy Protection Service intervening. But the point about it is, there's more and more families losing their homes. There's more and more families in crisis accommodation. We had Simon coming out just there last week explaining that there could be as high as 3,500 adults and children in emergency accommodation now, and that's by June. They reckon that could be the case. So obviously this is still going on. People are still losing their homes, and without having a more direct intervention with government policy to put a cap on the actual rent that landlords can charge, and then linking that in with an increase in rent supplement to keep people in their homes, even for 3 years. A housing emergency legislation we brought in. We brought in the financial emergency legislation. Why don't we bring in a housing emergency legislation for 3 years to hold the rents as they are, and then to try and ease people over the next period of time if you're going to build the 1,500 houses that claim the money is there for. But these all have to be interlinked. But there has to be a review of the rent supplement. It can't keep going the way it is for families.
Minister.